Alewives arrive each spring, swimming from the sea to spawn in New Hampshire rivers. But the number of alewives returning to rivers in the Granite State has been on the decline over the past 2 decades, leading to challenges for the other fish and birds that depend on the species for food. With funding provided by New Hampshire Sea Grant, UNH Professor of Biological Sciences David Berlinsky is working with biologists from the New Hampshire Fish and Game to make sure their alewife population estimates are accurate and to determine the ability of this species to ascend fish ladders that bypass the dams located on the rivers. Every day in late spring, Fish and Game biologists Kevin Sullivan and Mike Dione park their pickup truck close to the dams to count alewives on local rivers. The ladders on these rivers, called standard denial ladders, are set up like a long cement runway sloping gently upward. A bit of water diverted from the dam flows through wooden-framed baffles that create alternating runs and resting pools, giving fish the opportunity to move up as slowly or quickly as they need. Biologists have the top of the ladders blocked off so alewives congregate rather than emptying into the above-dam portion of the river. Wearing chest waders and using a seine net to gather the fish, the researchers stand in the ladder's hip-high water to count the alewives.
We do this every day. This is like the end of the run. But we do this every day to get them from the salt water to the fresh.
They then transfer the fish above the dam in the river in hopes of allowing their upstream migration to continue. Sullivan said they counted more than 7,000 alewives in the Oyster River this year, an improvement over last year's 2,500 count, but still a far cry from the 150,000 alewives caught in 1992. Things are looking better on the Lamprey River, where more than 75,000 alewives return each year. Researchers placed electronic tags on alewives to track their movements in the ladder.
If you look at this right now, this didn't happen during most of the run, but clearly there's a lot of water over the dam, a lot of water coming out of the floodgates, and it's just turbulence and white water here. And so the question is, can a fish find the entrance to this ladder in all that chaos? And that's what the tags will show us. Each one of these will be associated with a PVC enclosure on each baffle. It's an antenna, and the antennas have wire running through them, and it's going to create a field that will detect the tags. It energizes and detects the pit tags as they swim through.
The data have yielded some interesting results. There are some fish that successfully make it up the ladder, some that don't, and curiously, there are some that travel back and forth within the ladder without immediately exiting on either side. Researchers wanted to find out if the fish that do not make it up the ladders spawn in the saltier downstream waters instead of their preferred freshwater spawning grounds.
But the thing you have to remember is that these fish, they're only going to have access to what we give them because of the dams. And so there's a good likelihood that both alewife and blueback are spawning down here. So this is far from ideal, since its title.
They use small steel plates attached to rebar secured in the Exeter River sediments in hopes of capturing the sticky alewife eggs as the current takes them further downstream. The tiny eggs are indeed found on the plates and on the rocks exposed at low tide. Berlinsky's research back at his aquaculture lab indicates that juvenile alewives can adapt to saltier water in a relatively short amount of time after hatching out below a dam. These findings will lead to improved estimates for alewife populations in New Hampshire rivers, the first step in helping to ensure the species returns to the Granite State each year.